Hey everybody, Sarah Rosensweet here of Peaceful Parenting with Sarah Rosensweet. Today I want to talk about consequences and the real lesson that giving our kids consequences teaches them. I want to take you forward in time a little bit first though and tell you about a conversation I had with my friend Holly. We were talking about teenagers and she was telling me that when she was a teenager growing up in the country, she knew that she could always call her uncle if she ever got into trouble, found herself without a safe ride, or was in a situation that she needed to find her way out of. She said it felt so good knowing that I had my uncle in my back pocket and I could call him whenever I needed some help. And I said to her, wouldn't it have felt good if you had your parents, if you knew that your parents were in your back pocket and that you could call them whenever you needed help and whenever you were in a sticky situation? She kind of thought for a minute and she said, yeah, that would have felt really good. So I want you to think about when your kids are teenagers and if you want them to be able to call you if they're at a party and they don't have a safe ride home, or maybe they're somewhere where they weren't supposed to be and they're in a sticky situation and they need some help. Do you want your teenagers to feel like they can call you night or day and you will help them, that you're on their side, and whatever got them into that situation, you can help them get out of it? Do you want to be that for your teenager? Do you want to be that safe person? Doesn't mean you won't be upset, and doesn't mean that they think you won't be upset, but they know that they can trust you to help get them out of a sticky situation. Whether it's a safe ride home from a party, as we were talking about, or whether it's a mistake they made could have some real world consequences. God forbid, teen sex, pregnancy, STDs, problems with drug and alcohol, like all of these things that are very real situations that our teenagers could find themselves in. Do you want your teenagers to be able to come to you when they have a problem? If you do, that starts now, and it starts with thinking about the kind of consequences you give your kids and what lesson that teaches them. So, say you are regularly giving consequences for misbehavior or mistakes. Your child hits their brother, and so they get a consequence of no TV or a timeout or something like that. You haven't taught them right then what effect their behaviors has on other people. You've only taught them to care about that for themselves, and you've taught them that the most important thing here is what happens to them when they do something wrong. So if you want your child to care about how to make things better, or what the results will be if they do make a mistake or make a bad choice, you have to teach them that you will help them fix it, that you will help them make repairs, you will help them make amends, and that they can come to you. Or if you see them doing something bad, you're not going to make them feel bad on purpose by giving them a consequence, but you're going to help them work it out. So they hit their brother, you're going to help them figure out what the problem was, how they can fix it, what they can do in the future if they need help. You're not going to just do a consequence to them, which makes them think about only what's in it for them and not really how their actions play out in the real world. So if you have, you come into the living room and you find Sharpie on the couch and, who did this? You're also going to get kids who lie a lot. You're going to, not me, I don't know what it is. I don't know who did that, right? Because they're trying to avoid a consequence or punishment. So what you want to do is you want to teach your kids that whatever the problem is, whatever they've done, you doesn't mean you won't be upset. And of course we always have to stop and regulate ourselves so that we can come to them and help them fix the problem or make amends, or, apologize, clean up their messes, fix it. Whatever they've done that's wrong, you want to teach them that you are there for them and you will help them fix the problem. So of course you have to regulate yourself, because just because you don't want to give a punishment or a consequence, it doesn't mean you're not going to be upset, right? Of course you're going to be mad if you see Sharpie on the couch, one child hits the other child, or your teenager is where they're not supposed to be and looking for a ride. Of course you're going to be upset. But you want your child, your 4-year-old or your 14-year-old, to know that no matter what they've done, you're there to help them. You will help them fix it. You will be their safety net. You will help them out of whatever jam they've gotten themselves in, whether it's figuring out a way to clean the Sharpie off the couch, figuring out a way to work things out with their brother, figuring out a way to get home from a party they weren't even supposed to be at. So the real lesson of consequences, or punishment, or anything that you do on purpose to make your child feel bad, And I'm not talking about natural consequences, which is something that you don't, parents don't have to be involved in. If it's an actual natural consequence, for example, they forget their coat and they're cold. It's not they forget their coat and you'll never let them wear a coat again so that they'll suffer and never forget their coat again. A natural consequence is something you don't have to be involved in. What I'm talking about is what people today call consequences, which you might as well call a punishment, because it's something that you have to, if the parent says, you're going to get a consequence for that, you're going to get a punishment for that. The real lesson of that is that you aren't going to help them fix their problems. You're going to be upset with them and try and make them feel bad on purpose. They can't trust you to help them out of a jam. And not only that, but you do get, as I mentioned, you get kids who lie because they are really worried about what's going to happen to them. So they're trying to get out of the punishment or out of the consequence by not telling you the truth. So just to wrap up here, if you want teenagers who will come to you when they have a big problem, which could be the case, hopefully not with your teenagers in the future, but if you want kids who will come to you no matter what, who know that they've got you in their back pocket, like my friend Holly had her uncle in her back pocket if she needed anything when she was a teenager, if you want that to be you, it starts now with not giving kids consequences, but helping them clean up their messes, fix their mistakes, own up to the bad choices that they've made, and try and make repairs and make amends. That's how you get kids that trust you later on and will come to you and make good choices when things can be life or death situations when they're teenagers. I'm Sarah Rosensweet, Peaceful Parenting Coach, and I am here. This is my 3rd episode of Peaceful Parenting Show. You can watch the rest on my Facebook page, which is Peaceful Parenting. Well, let's see, my Facebook page is Sarah Rosensweet, and then I also have a Facebook group, which you are welcome to join if you would like to learn more about this or any other peaceful parenting topics. It's Peaceful Parenting with Sarah Rosensweet. And of course, I work with parents one-on-one. If you would like to chat with me about this or anything else parenting related challenges, you can apply for a free consult on my website, which is sarahrosensweet.com. Have a great rest of the day, and thank you for joining me today. Okay,